Good afternoon, Namaskar and Vanakkam. Uh, on this special occasion, it is really an honor to meet some of the experienced uh, teachers. Now, what is the future of learning? Well, that's what we are all interested in. Now, the future of learning could be understood if we know what is the future of work. So, give me some thoughts. What is, in your opinion, the future of work? Some perspectives on that. What are the various things that is evolving around the world of work? I'm sorry? Automation is coming. Okay. Fine. AI is there. Okay. Work from home. Home. Okay, we can work from home. No work. Well, that's a serious another thing. Yeah. I have a reason why I'm putting it in different places. And what I'm doing right now, okay, so let's have a time machine kind of thing. What I'm doing right now, we will observe from here after 20 minutes. So I'm doing some activities here. So the same activity, we will have a meta view of this activity after 20-25 minutes. Okay. So automation, AI, work from home. What else is drastically changing in the world of work? This is about how are we going to do the work? How? And this is about where are we going to work? Okay. Now there is also a question, who are going to be the employees? Or who is going to be the workers? Most of this input came from you. So this is an interesting argument or a thought put forth by SHRM, Society of Human Resource Management. 80%, 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 have not been invented yet, that is in 2020. Now that is the purpose statement for all the trainers. Because, well, we are in 2024, so at least some person you would have already been prepared. But we are speaking about jobs that are not invented, and teachers' jobs, I mean, in an organization setting, the teacher's job is to equip people for the jobs that is yet to be invented. Sounds interesting, right? Okay. Now, whatever comes in AI or anywhere, this is a critical role. Well, now, what SHRM classified as 3 aspects of work is essentially what we have discussed here. This change in the work world demands a lot of things. I'm not going into the details of that, but essentially 2 things. One, understanding the need of organization and job. The job would be demanding something entirely new. Organization is demanding entirely new because the organization itself is going in another direction. That is one aspect of it. Another aspect of it, the learner needs are drastically getting changed. The learner need, when it is getting changed, the learner requirement changes. So understanding learner become even more important. Understanding the learner psychology. So there are 3 aspects on psychology. When we speak of psychology of anything or any individual, it is essentially the cognition, which is thinking, 2, the emotions, and 3, the behavior. So we'll look into the cognition part. So it is about what the learner is thinking in the class, or more ideally, what the learner should be thinking in the class, or even more ideally, what the learner should be able to think after the class. So let me put this last question. We are taking a session. After the session, what is the cognitive change that you expect, or from a outcome perspective, in a typical classroom or virtual session in an organization, what is the one thing that our participants are expecting? The same is expected by organization. What is the bare minimum thing that is expected? To able to? I mean, not about the facilitator, but about the participant himself or herself or themselves. What do we expect from our participant the day after training? Skills, okay. Knowledge, okay. Performance, okay. So knowledge and skills increased. Is that enough?
proper usage, output.
Okay, demystify misconceptions, understand that. Okay, so we have to have the people understand things. They have to demystify, right? They have to get the insights. They have to get the clarity of the concept. What else? Able to apply. Absolutely. They should be able to apply it, right? Now, this is fair enough, but any organization training program would be focusing on this. Is my argument correct? Because in a classroom teaching in an education setting, the purpose is to make the students learn the concept and able to write the exam. But honestly, in our sessions in an organization setting, is it basically about making them learn, making them understand, or making them perform? So, in that way, this is a essential stage. I would love to hear if you have any disagreements. So, they should be having the ability to apply, right? Well, we are discussing about something we discussed in the morning. Can you think of that? Can you mention that? What was it? Observation, okay. Level of thoughts, brilliant, exactly, level of thoughts. So we have the Bloom's taxonomy, which speaks about the lower order thinking to the higher order thinking. This is basically about from remembering to understanding to apply. We bare minimum need apply, right? From a cognitive perspective, the primary objective or the next step of objective is to make them go little more than apply. So now let us look into each of it little deeply. Remember is just they are able to memorize it. Understand, they are able to get the meaning of it. Now apply is when they are able to do that as an act. And above that is they go deeply into the subject and bring more insights from that. Now, is this important? It is important. For example, from an organization perspective, data-driven decision making is something that is working on things like analysis and above. And now, why am I speaking about it right now here? Because the change that is happening in the world because of this one thing of automation. Okay, this is very, very important. The automation is doing very, very interesting things. So let's see Gen AI, for example. Okay, now what is AI doing? We have to see it in a very interesting manner. Think of the hunting era. Humans were doing a lot of physical work. What was the most important competency of that era? So I am a hunter. I go for hunting. I hunt and come back, or I'm a farmer. So there are 10 people like that. So who is a better person in that era? What is the important competency of that era? Physical ability. Now when mechanization happened, what essentially happened? I'm sorry? Tools, okay, become equals, or analytical ability become important. Why? I'm sorry? You have the ability to operate machine. So what was the thing that was substituted by machines? Absolutely. So physical ability was important till then. When the mechanization came, it replaced that. Physical ability is no longer the top number one competency anymore. You have the remaining set. I'm not saying, so primarily which is the competency that become important afterwards? Can I say intellectual abilities? And plus many more things. Now the question is, now when AI is coming, what is it attempting to do? I'm not saying it is replacing. What is it attempting to do? The thinking process or the intellectual ability, it is trying to replace. I'm not saying it is capable of. So now when intellectual capabilities, when we think of that, this is what intellectual capability. Now, before Google, we have to remember everything, right? Now when we have Google, do you have to actually remember all those things we were supposed to remember? Not needed. Are you agreeing with me? Now when ChatGPT came, generative AI came, so in other words, Google kind of deleted the necessity for this, right? Now, okay, I have to write a mail. It is actually an application of my knowledge. Am I right? What is Gen AI trying to do? Take some portion of this apply part also. So, what I was trying to say is, when AI takes away the essence of many work, as a trainer, we have to go beyond this. Because by 2030, the works would be, at least not these things. Or many of the work would be beyond that. So those simple, silly things is already getting automated. So, from a cognition perspective, what I was trying to say was to give the focus of taking the thinking of our participants to the next level.
So with that, I'm closing it here. It was really an honor to be here with you today and wishing you a continued great success ahead. Thank you.